Alright, hello all you crazy people out there, this is Dragonite, and welcome back to the Harvest December demo. So, in the last part, we had a very awkward conversation between Yuki and the main character, and then we got interrupted very rudely by some friends of ours. And in this part, we're going to see how this resolves, or doesn't resolve, as the case may or may not turn out. So, in the following weeks, I was on my toes, paying extreme attention to whatever Yuki said or did. But the days passed peacefully, much to my surprise, and before I knew it, school was over for the winter holidays. The Toyama siblings looked like they had their souls beaten out of them for a few days after they returned home with their report cards. Sanae was busy helping out at the eatery since people flocked in for their end-of-year celebrations. Sometimes I went to help her. Since the beginning of the holidays, I hadn't seen Yuki once. Sometimes we'd message each other about our preparations for our New Year party, but that was about it. December 30th, so I'm guessing we're getting towards the end of this demo, since I'm assuming that this is only going to encompass December and not the rest of the year. The day before the party. Everything is ready. I checked the list on my cell phone one last time before I put it back in my pocket. It had several large bags filled with tasty dried seafood from the local dried food store. For a party that had 3 young girls in it, it wasn't really an orthodox choice for treats, but strangely, Mijo looked natural chewing on sticks of dried squid. Kawai was sitting out at the market scouring for crabs. Oh, Kawai was out at the market scouring for crabs. Sanae and Mijo were cooking, and Yuki was off getting other supplies and ingredients using the help of Tawada trading. I thought back on what happened around this time last year. Alright, Dragonite, slow down reading. I'm making this way more difficult than it has to be. I quickly shook the thought out of my head. It wasn't something I wanted to remember. I never thought I'd be out partying with friends during this time of the holidays. Just thinking about it made me feel happier and put a spring in my step. I got home earlier than expected. I'm home! Welcome back, you playboy, you. What a greeting. Thanks, Mom. Yeah, I'm not sure if this particular character has a very good grip on reality right now. I took my shoes off. Is someone here? I noticed the 2 pairs of shoes by the front door. They certainly weren't mine, nor Mom's. Oh, Misaki-chan, stop that. You don't have to pretend with Mommy, making such an innocent face like that. Now you're 4 timing behind my what? By the end of next year, who knows what you'll become. They'll call you Misaki the stud round the clock. It didn't sound like a title I could be proud of. Who's here? Hey, don't ignore me like that. You're hurting Mama's feelings. Didn't you notice I made a joke with timing and clock? Please, no. I get enough of this from my friends. I don't get any more from the visual novels that I read. Exasperated, I walked past Mom up to my room to see myself. I knocked on the door just in case. Is this like that snow goddess and the wolf or whatever? Whoa, this room is occupied. A familiar voice. And then a sudden cessation, same thing, of the noise, of things being moved around inside, then finally silence. Come in! It was my room, so I thought it was weird that I had to be given permission to enter. I opened the door. Yeah, what's going on here? Sanae and Toyama. Hey! Mijo saluted me. Hi! Sanae bowed to me awkwardly. I just came back from shopping for the stuff you listed. Good job, take a seat. It's my room, you know. I rolled my eyes and sat down on the floor. It's so nice you can have a hot carpet here. I was worried that I'd get a really cold bottom. We have to take care of our bottoms, you know. Food is important. Oh, some noise that I missed. So what brings you here? We wanted to double check with you the list of things to bring tomorrow. Sanae pulled out a piece of paper. It was a simple printed spreadsheet that had a picture of a smiling dolphin on the side with a speech bubble that said, "How do I delete you?" Wasn't that like Windows XP that they did that? No, that was Clippy, not a dolphin. Never mind. Just us? What about Kawai and Yuki? Yuki's a princess. She won't have the muscle to carry heavy things. She was forgetting that Naginata of Yuki's. Yeah. And we put Ani-chan on a ship to go catch crabs since the market was out of stock. Wait a minute, say that again? We put Oni-chan on a ship to go catch crabs. I closed my eyes and thought hard. You see, this year, the catch wasn't so great, so we asked Yuki if she could arrange to put him on over Tawada's fishing boats to go get some of her own. If I'm not mistaken, fishing for crabs takes just as long as fishing for tuna. I think it takes months before they return to land. We looked at each other. Well, I guess we'll have to give up on the crabs then. Or just not count on him being here for the holiday party tomorrow. At least Oni-chan will come back a strong fisherman. Okay, so Kawai will be absent from the party tomorrow. Too bad. Haha. I was really worried about Koi now. Well, let's calculate how much to bring up tomorrow then. We can deduct Koi's amount. Please add him in. This is too serious to be a joke. We looked through the list together, but there weren't many changes to be made. It was something we had gone over weeks beforehand, and it was planned very well. Okay, I'll bring the pot from my place. Sina drew a red circle on the spreadsheet. And you put it in my bag when we get to the station, right? Last year we only had Oni-chan to help with the heavy stuff. This year it's going to be easier with you. No, wait, I forgot. Oni-chan isn't going to make it. Please don't say that. Please don't say that. For crying out loud, he's your brother. Haha. I mean, I'm like 95% sure that my sister would make jokes at my expense like that too, but whatever. You guys, really, but I just realized, if you'd come to run a checklist, wouldn't an email have sufficed? Aren't you happy to see us? I just don't appreciate your giving Mom weird fantasies. You're too serious. You don't even own any porn. And now I understand what they were doing in my room. Sorry to disappoint you, I managed to reply coolly. That's because I knew my secret stash was hidden outside the back of the garage. I didn't need to know that. So boring. I'm going home. Take care. I saw them to the door, and with a quick conversation about what time we would meet up tomorrow, said our goodbyes. See you tomorrow. They left together, walking side by side. After I closed the door, Mom asked me to help with the end of the year cleaning, which may or may not include yard cleaning. Of course, I insisted I would do the garage. Alright, if you insist. At night, while I lay in bed, I tried calling Koi. Surprisingly, it connected. Misaki, is that you? I could hear him yelling through the commotion in the background. Koi, where are you now? What's happening? Damn it, pirates, they're attacking our ship, but don't worry, I got crabs, I'll protect... Sir? Do I have to press buttons? Oh, I do have to press buttons. The line cut off. I stared at my cell phone for a few moments. Oh well, I ducked under the blankets and fell asleep. Alright, celebration. I assume this is going to be the last chapter. I kind of want to end it off, just so that I could start the next one here, the next video here. But I know it's been awfully short, so I don't think I will. 7 p.m. on the 31st of December. Yuki, Koi, Miju, and Sine and I were making our way up to the mountain for a party. I'm still wondering where this, where that, like, snow goddess or whatever has been, because it's been a while since we've seen her. There was a thick layer of snow on the ground, just as we had predicted. Koi led the way, firming the snow with his feet. We should walk in his footsteps. Oh, he's, like, making a trail for them. Alright, when he got tired, I took over, and he directed me which way to go. Your turn. He passed me the torchlight he was holding, and I took his place in the lead. Unlike the hills near the city, the mountains of Tagami had no electricity and the path was dark. Koi was carrying heavier stuff than I was, and he walked at a faster pace, but he was breathing only slightly more heavier than usual, or I was panting hard by now. I didn't complain since it was our job. And also, because I somehow felt the necessity to prove my masculinity. So I kept going on in silence, stamping the snow down as I moved forward. It's so heavy, it's too heavy, I could hear Mizu complaining. Something that we had endured for a while now. You've got the lightest load, quit complaining. Do you need a rest? I secretly needed one too. Vegetables are heavier than you think. I'm beginning to hate cabbages. Do you want to exchange your load with mine? I've got 5 cartons of drinks in here. Well, why don't you have the big brother here, Koi, and help out your little sister? Why don't you be the big brother here? Oh, be, not whatever I said. You want me to carry more stuff when I'm already carrying twice as much as each of you are carrying? Sine, you've got a pretty light load. Why don't you help out? Sure, no problem. If you don't mind the feeling of Last crab crawling down your back. Why didn't you boil them first? Isn't that uncomfortable? Nah, I'm okay. I'm pretty tough that way. I've always managed uncomfortable positions. Uncomfortable positions! Why do you always react to words like that? It's almost reflexive with you. I don't know, are you secretly X? Never mind. Behind me, they made a line, with Mijo right behind me, and then Yuki, then Sine, then lastly Koi. It's only another 5 minutes. How do you know? By the way, the path slopes and the position of the trees. Give it a couple years and you'll be able to tell too. I looked around, flashing the torchlight in the directions, and flashing the torchlight. Where did I get directions? Flashing the torchlight among the trees in hopes of locating a familiar landmark. Yeah, there we go. 5 minutes, huh? I looked up. Because of the thick branches above us, the mountains felt darker than the night. We should hurry. I'm gonna die. I can't walk anymore. Come on. I held out my right hand to Miju. Nice to meet you? No, I wasn't asking for a handshake. Pass me your things. Huh? If it's just 5 minutes, I can manage. But you're already carrying pots and gas. It's tougher to stop and wait with all this baggage. Hurry up. Thanks. Miju passed me the rucksack she was carrying. Urgh. The moment she dropped it on my hand, my arm sagged. I thought it would fall off. I'll carry it after all. It's alright, let's go. I was glad it was dark and they couldn't see me gritting my teeth. I turned around and swung the backpack over one shoulder. Misaki-san, what is it? Instead of talking, I really wanted to conserve my energy so that I could concentrate on carrying the bags, but I managed to respond anyway. Misaki, I'm not going to let you marry my little sister if that's what you're after. Kawai, I'm never going to ask for her hand, relax. Somehow, the conversation was familiar to me. And what were you about to say, Miju? Nothing. Well, actually, I was going to say I wouldn't mind marrying you since you were so kind to carry my stuff. What? Sorry, I really need to stop doing that summon guy thing from Default Bravely Second. Kawai and I were dumbfounded. Miju, do you mean to say you're waging a war against me? Be prepared to fight to the death. Ha ha ha, hell no. You would be the wife, I would be the mistress. What? This got complicated. Oh, well that's an interesting turn. I never expected that from you. Okay, I'll be the other woman then, mistress number 2. Hey, don't I get a say in it? Don't tell me you're unhappy with an arrangement like that. How did she expect to answer that question? How did this conversation even get started? Misaki, don't tell me you're actually considering it. I decided not to say anything because it would mean my instant death. Yeah, we've seen that pose before. No comment, I said meekly. Hey, I wouldn't mind having a mistress, Kawai volunteered. No way. You couldn't even find a wife, let alone a mistress. Kawai, actually, I don't think you should reproduce for the good of mankind. That's nice of you. I need more appreciation. I tilted my head in thought as I walked. Kawai was so much more of a decent guy than I was. I found it too weird he wasn't in my position. If I were a girl, I'd definitely choose him over me. Funnily enough, while we chatted, the weight of our baggage didn't seem too bad. And just as Kawai had said, we got to the shrine in 5 minutes. Oh, so we are going to the shrine then. Is this a different one than the last one we visited? I assume this is a different one than the last one we visited. The inside of the shrine wasn't that big. In fact, it might have been smaller than my room, which is only the size of 6 tatami mats. Mijo, aren't you putting in too much to keep stock? We had a stiff mat laid out, and the portable gas range was placed directly on it. A clay pot filled with mineral water was already boiling. This is just right. The best broth is the kind you can actually taste the kelp in it. But Kawai brought back the fresh crabs for us. He said the fisherman told him never to cook the crabs in anything too salty so you don't overpower the taste. Oh, Yuki, you're actually taking Oni-chan's opinion seriously. No, I'm taking the crabs seriously. Good answer. Point taken. But I guess we should show some appreciation till we finish eating the crabs. But I guess, right? I think I read that correctly. And how would Kawai be treated after they finish the crabs, I wondered? And how would Kawai be treated after they finish the crabs, I wondered? Yeah. I silently apologized to Kawai for not sticking up for him more. These girls are scary, you can say that again. Hey, move your hands, do some work. Kawai nudged me with an elbow. I hoped he didn't overhear the conversation the girls had had just for his sake. Next to him, Sine was unpacking the food she had brought from home. At least they said they would show some appreciation, Kawai smiled. He was generous. I could hear the girls chopping up vegetables as I pasted cling film over the holes in the old shoji doors to keep out the cold. Oh. I pasted cling film over the holes of the old shoji doors to keep out the cold. Okay, so he's patching the door. Wow, talk about showing respect. When I looked closely, I could tell that the cling film method had been used many times before, from all the old sellotape marks. This was supposed to be in the house of a god, but no one had come in to mend the doors properly. Hey, Kawai. What? Hey, hurry up, it's cold. Do you guys have Hatsumode here? Hatsumode, right? Japanese people, correct me, please. Not in this town. We all go to the temple over the borders of the next town, where there's a bigger shrine. Besides, with a god goes around demanding ice cream from the household, I don't think the people around here find it necessary to pay our respects. Oh, right. That explained everything. I looked towards the center of the shrine where a wolf skin hung from the ceiling. Strangely, it looked clean despite being hundreds of years old. The sheen of the wolf skin reminds me of Shira's white, glossy coat. Oh, that was a comma, not a period. The sheen of the wolf skin reminded me of Shira's white, soft, glossy coat, whatever thing. Since this was the goddess house, it occurred to me. This place was probably... You thinking about Shiro-sama? I must have reacted awkwardly, because Koai's smile deepened. Well, you did touch your boobs. I bet you'd be in a sticky situation if she decided to come home tonight. Koai... From his smug expression, I could tell he had done something about it. I took 5 tubs of ice cream, big tubs. She promised she wouldn't crash the party tonight and stay in town while we were up here. She's at my place now, picking out. I see. Shiro never lied. I let out a sigh of relief, and I felt an immense amount of gratitude towards my friend. Come on, let's finish this. He pushed my shoulder, and I continued mending the holes with cling film. Grr. Boing boing. Having fun there? Sine was jumping with a piece of cling film spread out in her hands, trying to reach a hole near the ceiling. It was an impossible mission, though, because to reach it she would need to jump another foot higher. I'll do it. No, I said I'd do the right half, so I'm going to do the right half. But you can't reach. I know, I drink so much milk, but I don't grow taller. You're already taller than most girls. Here. Greg grabbed her waist and lifted her up. Woohoo! Hey, I think you put on some weight again. No way, don't lie about that, Koai. I'm not lying. When it comes to you, I can sense every bit of change like a sushi master knows how much rice he's got in his hand. Milligrams don't count. Hurry up and finish the job. I stopped to watch the banter. Sane pasted the last of the cling film she had in the hole, and Koai gently put her down on the floor. That's it, Masaki, are you still at it? Koai, I think you should say just the way you are. Koai, I think you should say just the way you are. What the hell are you talking about? I started mending the holes again. He pressed me for an explanation a few times, but I brushed him off and we started kidding around. I noticed Sine watching us with a smile on her face.